some action, and here you are asked to add an interaction term, that is mu square phi 1 phi 2 with that. So the first question is, you have to obtain the equations of motion resulting from the full action, okay, and show that the full action still described to non-interacting scalar fields, okay, that is also okay, and with masses that are no longer okay, and what are the new masses, you have to find them out, okay. So everybody understood the question, or should I explain the question? Okay, let me explain once. Okay, so here in the problem 1, here you have to start with two real scalar fields, okay. One is phi 1, first one is phi 1, and second one is phi 2, okay. And the mass of the first scalar field is m1, and the mass of the second scalar field is m2, and uh, here you are asked to consider the non-interacting theory. That means uh, in the Lagrangian of phi 1 there is no interaction term involving phi 2, or in the Lagrangian of phi 2 there is no interaction term involving phi 1, and also there is no higher order term like phi cube, phi to the power 4, etc. Okay, so the Lagrangian density for the first field uh, phi 1, that will be something like half of eta mu nu del mu phi 1 del nu phi 2 minus m square phi 1 square, right? And sorry, I have to attend the call. হ্যাঁ বল, হ্যাঁ বল বল, হ্যাঁ ও আচ্ছা 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 ও আচ্ছা আচ্ছা তাহলে আমি তাহলে ওকে ওকে কল করছি, আর তুই লিঙ্কটা কোথায় পাঠাচ্ছিস? ও আর যারা আছে সবাই জানে তো, মানে ওই লিঙ্কটা জানে, তাহলে আমি ওকে বলি। আচ্ছা আচ্ছা, আমি তাহলে ওকে কল করে একটু বলে দিচ্ছি। আচ্ছা হ্যাঁ ঠিক আছে। হ্যালো, please wait for a few seconds. I have another thing to do. Continuing, okay. So the Lagrangian for the first field will be
দাদাটা phi 1 হবে একটা,
m1 হবে,
আর phi 1 হবে,
হ্যাঁ এটা phi 1 হবে, রাইট, ঠিক okay. And similarly the Lagrangian for the second field is L2 equal to half of eta mu nu del mu some phi 2 del nu phi 2 minus m2 square phi 2 square, okay. And here you have been asked to also consider an interaction term, okay. So the interaction term is something like L interaction, this is equal to mu square phi 1 phi 2, okay. So okay, so the full Lagrangian is L equal to half of this thing, sorry, let me write it simply as L1 plus L2 plus L interaction, okay. So the action will be similarly, action will be something like S1 plus S2 plus AC interaction, where S1 is integral over L1 S2 is integral over L2, and S interaction is integral over L interaction, and there are D4x kind of thing. Okay. So first thing you have to do, you have to find out the equation of motion starting from the full action of the system. Okay. So there are two fields, phi 1 and phi 2. So there will be one equation of motion of phi 1 and another equation of motion of phi 2. To find out the equation of motion corresponding to phi 1, you have to vary the action with respect to phi 1, and to find out the equation of motion corresponding to phi 2, you have to vary the action with respect to phi 2. Okay. So let us do that. Okay. So your full action is something
দাদা
yeah,
আর একজন ওয়েটিং এ আছে
একজন ওয়েটিং আছে। ওকে, সরি, বাট ওকে, রাইট, অনেকজনই ওয়েটিং আছে। থ্যাংক ইউ। Okay, right. So these are our actions, and we have to calculate the equation of motion starting from the full action. So let us write the full action. So A is equal to integral over, the first term is half of eta mu nu del mu phi 1 minus m1 square phi 1 square, right? Okay, plus half of eta mu nu del mu phi 2. Okay, fine. So the second term is half of del mu phi 2 del mu phi 2 minus m2 square phi 2, and the third term is where is that? That is sorry, mu square phi 1 phi 2, and there is a d for x. Okay, so first of all we want to find out the equation of motion corresponding to phi 1. For that we will have to vary the action with respect to phi 1. Okay, so let us do it. So equation of motion of phi 1, and that will be equal to something like delta s divided by delta phi 1 sum x equal to 0, right? So here we are taking the functional derivative or variational derivative, whatever you want to call it. Functional derivative. Okay, so if we do this, to the first of all action have three terms, right? S1, S2 and S interaction, and we are varying with respect to phi 1, so it will have no so the functional derivative of S2 will always be with respect to phi 1 will always be 0, right? Like delta S2 delta phi 1 whatever be the x, this is equal to 0. Okay, so we will not consider this term while taking derivative with respect to phi 1, and we will consider only this term, okay, and this term, because they contain the phi 1 terms. Okay, so if we take the variational derivative of the first term, where there will be what will be there? Okay, fine, yeah. Okay, okay, so we have to calculate the variational derivatives of S1 and S interaction with respect to phi 1, right? And we know that S1 is half of integral eta mu nu del mu phi 1 del nu phi 1 minus m1 square phi 1 square, and there is some d4x. Okay, now we can always do the change of variable. Okay, and we can make it delta x prime phi 1 at x prime. This is delta x prime at x prime, and phi 1 at x prime square, and this will also be x prime. So we are making it x prime because we want to take the variational derivative with respect to delta phi 1x, and we want to keep this x independent with keep this x independent of whatever is the variable of the integration. Okay, so now we can take the variational derivative with respect to phi 1. Okay, so this will be something like s1 equal to half of okay, I have one thing to ask. So you are using these delta functions things, or just doing it by taking derivatives in the class? Hello?
Dada, in class we are not doing any functional derivatives.
Okay, just the
No, we do the variation, simply variation of and
yeah,
then
variation
That
is
was only
something
for
called,
Lagrangian also. That was only
yeah,
for
you are doing
Lagrangian
it
density.
you are doing it in the you are putting a delta over s, right, and just varying
yes,
it.
yes, yes, delta over
Okay,
S.
let me do it that way. Okay, because no point in introducing a new thing. Okay, so we will first vary with respect to phi 1. Okay, to find out the equation of motion of the full theory. Full theory, by full theory I mean with the including the interaction term. Okay, and we want to find out the equation of motion with respect to phi 1, so we will vary with respect to phi 1. So I think you are using some notation like this: delta phi 1 operating on s, right?
Yes, Dada, yes, Dada.
Okay, so this will be something like there is a integration. Okay, so d4x I am writing it here. Okay, because okay, you can write it anywhere, but I am writing it here. Okay, so first of all there is a half here. Okay, but note that this if you okay, so let me do it and then I will explain. Okay, so let me do it by putting half, and then you will understand. You do not need to do the middle step because you can do it in one stroke. Okay, so let me first put half. Okay, so what will happen here? The eta mu nu is a constant. It will get out of the thing. Okay, and there are two terms, del mu phi 1 and del nu phi 1. So you have to use a chain rule kind of thing. Okay, so this will be something like, so I'm writing it in a bracket. Okay, delta phi 1 del mu phi 1 del nu phi 1 plus del mu phi 1 delta phi 1 on del nu phi 1. Okay, and next there is this half of m1 square phi 1 square. So half is there. Okay, m1 square is there, and this phi 1 square, if you take the variational derivative with respect to this phi 1, so this will be there is a 2 here, these 2 will come here. Okay, so 2 phi 1 and delta phi 1, right? Okay, so first term will give us this. Okay, Any confusion? I hope not. Okay. And from the second term, we will have okay. And from the second term, we will have nothing because there is no phi 1 in, and we are varying with respect to phi 1. And from the third term, again there is phi 1, so we will have something from there. Okay. So let us look at the third term. There is this mu square will come out of the delta phi 1 thing, and also phi 2 will come out, and we will only left with delta phi 1. Okay. And there is a d4x with the whole thing. Okay. Any confusion? Okay, not. Now note that this eta mu nu is symmetric in mu nu, right? So I can interchange eta mu nu, take these two terms, this term and this term. Okay, and I can interchange eta mu nu, and then again so like this. Okay, so if eta mu nu, you have what?
Dada, you
Del
can
mu
change
phi.
the dummy indices.
Yeah, exactly. We can change the dummy index simply. Okay, and it will be so. If I change them, so then the both of the terms will be same, and we will left with d4x eta mu nu, something like del mu phi 1 and delta phi 1 operating on del nu phi 1, right? And these two will cancel, so minus n square phi 1 delta phi 1, and again there will be a plus mu square phi 2 delta phi 1, right? Okay, right. So now you can exchange this variational derivative with this partial derivative because they commute. So you will have d4x eta mu nu del mu phi 1 del mu delta of phi 1, and minus there is m square phi 1 delta phi 1 plus mu, sorry, this is m1, right? This is m1 square phi 1 delta phi 1 and mu square phi 2 delta phi 1. Okay, and if you do something like integral by parts here, so you will get something like d4x. Okay, so there will be some eta mu nu and del mu on del mu phi 1 delta phi 1 minus something eta mu nu del mu phi 1 delta phi 1, right? And minus m1 square phi 1 delta phi 1, sorry, plus mu square phi 2 delta phi 1. Okay, and now this term, the first term is a total derivative term. Okay, and so you it will so if you integrate this, if you use something like Stokes theorem or divergence theorem, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so it will be a Hilbert surface integral at infinity. The infinity is a bad term, but I'm using it. Okay, so and you can always drop it to 0. Okay, and then you will be left with only these three terms. Okay, and you will have integral d4x. I am taking the minus common, so there will be this eta mu nu del mu del nu. This will be your box operator. Okay, so box operator operating on phi 1, and take this delta phi 1 common from this side. This delta phi 1 common. Okay, and here you will have something like m1 square phi 1 minus mu square phi 2. Okay. Now the variation, this is the variation of the action with respect to phi 1, and to find out equation of motion you have to set this thing to 0, and then for all delta phi 1x, for all delta phi 1, this integral must be 0, and so your equation of motion will be box phi 1 plus m1, sorry, let me write it in this way, box plus m1 square phi 1 minus mu square phi 2, this is equal to 0. Okay, so this is the equation of motion of phi 1. Okay, so if you have any confusion, please tell me. Okay. Hello? Okay. Great. Okay. Now you have to find out the equation of motion for phi 2. Okay. Now you have to find out the equation of motion for phi 2, but take a look at the full action, and you can see that there is, if you exchange phi 1 with phi 2, the action will not change, right? If you take a look at the full action, and if you exchange phi 1 and phi 2, the action will not change. So to find out equation of motion, you have to just exchange 1 and 2. Okay, phi 1 and phi 2, also m1 and m2, sorry, m1 and m2, the action will not change. So to find out the equation of motion for phi 2, you have to exchange those 1 and 2. Okay, and you will get the equation of motion for phi 2. So equation of motion for phi 2 will be something like box plus m2 square phi 2 minus mu 2 phi 1 equal to 0. Okay, this is the equation of motion for phi 2. Okay, so we have found out the two equations of motion starting from the full action. Okay,
That's mu square.
oh sorry, thank you. Okay, yeah. Okay, now we have to show that the full action still describes two non-interacting scalar fields with masses that are no longer m1 and m2. Okay, so we have to show that this full action can be described as a can be described as some action of two non-interacting field with masses that are no longer phi 1 and phi 2. Okay, so we can do it in various ways. There are various ways to do it, but I think it is easier to do it from the starting from the equation of motion. Okay, and if you want to find out the two fields which are non-interacting and still described by this action, starting from the action, if you want to do that, and you can try and you can let me know. Okay, fine. So I will do it from starting from the equation of motion. Okay. So here the two equations of motion are first of all, notice that these two equations of motions are coupled, right? So differential equation of motion of phi 1 contains phi 2, and equation of motion of phi 2 contains phi 1. But there is a simplicity in this uh, uh, equations of motion, because both the equations of motion are linear. Okay, notice that. So note that both the equations of motion are linear. Okay, and also they are homogeneous. Okay, so we will use this fact that the equations of motion are linear and homogeneous to do some transformations, and we will eventually land up with two fields which are actually linear combinations of these fields. The linear combination is allowed because the equation of motions are linear, and their solution will be a the space of their solution will be a vector space, and there you can take linear combinations, and uh, and uh, you can show that the phi 1 and phi 2 can be linearly combined in such a way that you can find out two fields. Uh, they are described by the same action, but they are non-interacting. Okay, so if so when the two fields are non-interacting, let's say if you have started with non-interacting theories and you find out the equation of motion, what will happen? Can anyone tell me what will be different from this equation of motions? So you start with two fields which are not interacting with each other, and you find out their equation of motion. So what is the difference of such equation of motion with this kind of equation of motion?
So there will be no
That
Mu square phi 2.
equation of phi 1.
Yeah. So equation of phi 1 will not involve phi 2, right? And equation of phi 2 will not involve phi 1. Okay. So we will have to make two fields which are linear combinations of phi 1 and phi 2 in such a way that they have to be linearly combined, that in equation of the first one the second one doesn't appear, and in the equation of the second one the first one doesn't appear. Okay, that is the thing we have to do. Okay, so to do that, let us write this equation in a little bit different manner. Okay, so so the first equation is something like this: box on phi 1 is equal to minus m1 square phi 1 plus mu square phi 2. Okay, and box of phi 2 equal to minus minus m2 square phi 2 minus mu square phi 1. Okay, so you can combine these two equations to write a matrix equation like this: some box operator operating on this matrix phi 1 and phi 2. Okay, and this gives something like minus m1 square mu square, sorry, this will be plus, yeah, mu square minus m2 square phi 1 phi 2. So is this step clear to everyone?
Yes, Dada.
Okay, fine. Okay, so if we had started with two non-interacting field, how would these two equations look like? They will look like something like this, right? If phi1 and phi2 are non-interacting, it would look like something like m1 square minus m2 square 0 0 and phi1 phi2, right? So if the two fields are non-interacting, this matrix would have been a diagonal matrix, but here it is not, right? So that is why it is interacting. Okay, so clearly what we will have to do, we will have to diagonalize this matrix. Okay, so simply we will have to diagonalize this matrix. Okay, so let us name this matrix something like M, capital M. Okay, and capital M has a diagonalizing matrix, let's say Sm. If capital M has a diagonalizing matrix Sm, then the diagonalized version of M, which I will write by Md. Okay, the diagonalized version of M can be written in terms of M as Sm inverse M Sm, right? This is the form. Okay, the diagonalized version of M would look like this. Okay, so for convenience, I am writing this phi1 phi2 as a capital Phi. Okay, this is a capital Phi. So I have this equation, box on capital Phi equal to M capital Phi, right? And you will have to write it in a diagonal form, the first matrix thing in a diagonal form. Okay, so let us first write this in this way. This M, keep it as it is. Okay, and then you know that between M and Phi there is an identity, right?